Athletics is hard because it's such an individual sport.
You need a shorts, t-shirt and running shoes and you go out for a run.
There's no defenders to back you up, there's no attackers to score your goals, it is only you.
I know a lot of people say you get out what you put in, but you really can measure it.
Although it is very much an individual sport, one of the great human requirements is feeling part of something. The harder you work, the better the results, and hard work will trump talent eventually. Things have changed since my day, social media, the X Factor type mentality where you want overnight success. All these things are there in the public domain, and we're almost going against that, because to have success in distance running, you need to be patient, consistent, and work hard over months and years.
When you're running hard, I think you finish it and you go, you know what, I quite enjoyed that. It's that idea of just going out and achieving something is quite nice. It was never a case of trying to find one super session. It's those weeks back to back of B+, B- in training that add up.
The rewards at the end of the day aren't that great, are they? Unless you really are Olympic level, you're not doing it for the financial reality, you're doing it because you want a bit of success from what you put in, but you're not going to get rich doing it, so it's a big gamble.
Although it's elite level at the top, they're still not separated from the lower level,
I'm back because I miss the hard breathing. I miss when it is raining and you're battling through. Finding a routine is the challenge. I think the routine is hard when you feel like it's a chore.
Just meeting different people is really cool. It's amazing how tight the running community is. It really is a struggle sometimes getting out in the morning, winter morning, going for a run or going out for this morning 15 miles. It's worth it when you get that high after a race when you've done really well or your team's won a team medal or whatever. It is special.
There's a lot of distractions, isn't there? I find I'm as bad as many. I'm always on Twitter or Facebook or watching the telly, and there's a list of things you want to watch or do, etc., or you've got to be somewhere or whatever. So I think there's more distractions than there ever was. And then you've got the pressures on athletes of instantaneously knowing how others are doing and measuring yourself against them. Back in my day, you do a race and the result would be in Athletics Weekly a month later.
Where Tonbridge differs to other clubs is that there is so much more of a team atmosphere within the club.
It's a real wide spread of people from lots of different backgrounds, all meet up with one common aim, and that is to run.
Sometimes you can't bother to do a session after work, or if it's tiring or if it's dark, but you know that everyone else is going through the same thing, and it's easier to do it with other people than slog it out by yourself.
Tonbridge always used to be an area where it's a grammar school, public school type area. A lot of people go off to university and then would either be certainly lost to the club or if not lost to the sport in total. I think one of our biggest achievements is the fact that we've broken that trend and started to flip it so that people still retain that being part of the club and still wanting to compete for the club and still in good communication with the club despite the fact they might be living remotely.
I'm not sure if I'd have been as successful in the sport if I hadn't had such a team, because when we were going to the big events like the National Cross, the motivation was the team. The team goal was like the top priority always.
With our coaching group, which probably has 60 on the list, probably any time at least half of those are away, but I make sure that the guys that are away know what training we've been doing at Tonbridge, and as much as I can I find out how they're getting on.
It's just that idea of that you're not just training for yourself, you're sort of getting what other people are doing for training, and you're going, well, if that's what they're doing, then maybe I should be able to be doing that kind of training. And that just that's the idea of sort of success breeds success.
Over years we've accumulated quite a range of coaches and supporters and admin staff and all this, the club. So there's a lot of people chipping in now, which I think has given it a good foundation going forward, or more chance of continuing the momentum.
I remember the days when it was just like a small group of us, and it was only really youngsters.
I can remember people used to think I was crazy when I used to say things like, it's all very well doing winning this at under 15, but that's not what it's about. We want to see you compete at senior. We want to win a national championship at senior. And honestly, Tonbridge didn't have any reputation with senior teams. It just never happened in our history. It progressed. We started winning it. We won the under 13 national championship, then under 15, under 17. So for the first time ever, we actually won a few championships with senior teams. The senior man, we've won it the last 2 years, which is definitely the biggest achievement I've been associated with. Only ever been a member of Tonbridge, no other club, since 1975. So what's that? 44 years coming up. I've always loved the sport, been a bit obsessed probably over the years.
His dedication to the club is impeccable, unbelievable, and all as a volunteer as well. But not just what he does for the club, it's what he does for the individual as well. There's been so many times when all of us have been like not feeling it, a bit down, or not wanting to do something, and he's just, no, come on, you got to do it. He's almost been like a bit of a father figure within the sport for us.
I find I sit here in a quiet moment and think, well, what should I be doing who haven't I been in touch with, who I haven't communicated with? Wonder how such and such getting on, and it's that sort of thing all the time going through my head. You don't want anyone to feel that they've been cast adrift, to that extent, or checking people's race plans. Are they going to be competing for the club in these races, etc.?
He probably knows what races I will be doing before I even know. Been really lucky. I mean, the organisation he does for things like nationals or British leagues or Kent Championships, he does it all. And for the love of the sport, he doesn't get anything out of it except enjoyment. He doesn't get paid for it. So yeah, he's a really special guy.
National Cross was always the pinnacle of our season as a Tonbridge runner, always. When it's away, when it's up north, we travel. The whole team travels, 2 or 3 buses, go up, stay overnight, and then travel to the course. We then run all the races. We have 2 tents now because we have such a big team.
It's a great weekend with good people all enjoying running and mud and hills.
It's one of the classic races, or has been traditionally in this country, on the distance running scene. You could stand at the top of the hill and watch 1,500, 2,000 people coming towards you. There's nothing quite like it in the cross-country season.
Because everyone's training hard, everyone's at such a good level, there is the motivation to do the nationals. At Tonbridge, there's a possibility of winning a team medal.
What do you reckon, Luca? Nice course?
I like the course so far.
Yeah. It's good for spectating. It's really...
I have great memories from National Cross. I remember when we went up to Leeds, when we won it as youngsters, and everyone was commenting on how many Tonbridge jackets they saw. Being a Tonbridge athlete, like, there's nothing bigger to train for.
I remember my first senior men's national, running past the TAC tent, and just everyone was cheering. I got goosebumps. It's just a great day. The excitement just builds, particularly now that we've been winning.
Whether you're coming 400th or you're coming 10th, it's still, you did the nationals, everyone's part of the team.
Whether you're an athlete or a supporter, you still feel part of it. It means a lot to the club. I think it's really important to keep the momentum going, that the youngsters see the seniors doing well, which of course we didn't have before when we first started. So I think that's vital. You have a presence at senior level to inspire the younger ones.
I don't see any reason why we can't have as strong a team as last year. If everyone runs well, we could realistically have 12, 15 guys in the top 100.
That would be the aim, to try and win it again. I'm not saying we will. When you say for a prediction, I'd never say we will do anything. But I'd be disappointed if we didn't win a medal, and I'd be probably a little bit disappointed if we didn't win, because once you've won, you get a taste for it, don't you?
Looking back, it was a really good day. Beautiful venue, courses were good, well organised. Our trip went well from a club point of view. 200 people. We came away from the 10 events with 5 team medals and 2 wins from the under 20s and under 13 girls. And the senior men came second and the senior women 4th. The women's was our best ever performance. I was a bit downhearted straight afterwards because the fact that the men had lost the last event, which we'd won the previous 2 years. But Leeds won the men and the women's. They were very strong on home soil, really. bit of an advantage, but they were very strong on the day, and so fair play to them. Hopefully one day we win those titles back. The team spirit was as good as ever, and we had one of the best evenings. All age groups came together, and it was good spirit. So I think it went as well as we could hope, really.
Now, in our next plan, we're going to have to think about things that will present athletics in a different way, both for the athlete experience and the spectator experience. I think we've got to start thinking a little bit outside the box for that, because I think it's more than just about Tonbridge, it's about the future of the sport